It's the Skyridge Falcons and the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles. Will pause here momentarily for the national anthem, and we'll come back and set things up for you after the national anthem. We're set and ready to go on a Friday night for high school basketball. The Skyridge Falcons coming in out of Region 7. The Falcons come in with a 2-2 record. They've played a couple of teams the Maple Mountain will see, including Jerry, the Salem Hill Skyhawks, which they have a 68-61 victory. They come in, though, after dropping the last two to Hillcrest and Syracuse.
I know, both these teams struggling in the last couple games. Maple Mountain is 1-2 and could really use a win.
The Golden Eagles have dropped their last two to Pleasant Grove, and then last Friday up against Timpview took a 92-77 loss. The Golden Eagles get tonight, Jerry, and then they head on the road to take on Juan Diego Tuesday and then down to St. George next weekend.
Yeah, they get to go enjoy some fun in the sun.
Be a very interesting thing here to kind of see. So right here, as the starting lineups get ready to be introduced, we'll give you the starting lineup for the Skyridge Falcons. They're going to start Marcus Draney, number 4. Wearing number 44 is Chase Berry. Number 23, Braden Cuff. Jensen Hawkins, number 13. And number 2, Ethan Ilianga for the Skyridge Falcons. Maple Mountain will get ready to be introduced here momentarily, as Skyridge will wear all gray uniforms. And Jerry, when you really take a look at heating, cooling, and plumbing, the Triple T keys the game.
Well, I think first and foremost, Dawson Bueller has to make himself known. You know, both underneath the basket and in transition. Him and Parker Christensen and Tyler Boyack, they're of course Bueller in double digits. He's got a double-double in rebounds and points, but Tyler Gibson.
And a couple of changes to their starting lineup. Colton Bingham is going to go ahead, and looks like all the when you really take a look at this to see the way Colton Bingham's played, he comes in averaging about 5.5 a game, or right around.
Picks his starters based on matchups. And Colton Bingham, being that long, lean kid, definitely has a presence when Skyridge doesn't have a definite 7-footer. I mean, their tallest guy is what, 6'3", 6'4", I believe.
They have a couple of guys at 6'6", but for the most part, not exactly a team full of height here. So we'll take a look.
They have Chase Berry, number 44, listed at 6'6". I don't know. I mean, Dawson Bueller looks every bit as tall as he is.
So Maple Mountain will indeed go with Brad Bird, Parker Christensen.
Well, it looks like Dawson Bueller is not even suited up tonight.
Even as of about 15 minutes ago, he was in street clothes, and that's a huge loss, because now all of a sudden you're going to have to try to find somebody who can match up with 6'6" Chase Berry, who comes in averaging 12 a game. And the opening tip is won by the team in gray, the Skyridge Falcons, coming out of Lehigh. And right away, Maple Mountain's going to knock the ball out of bounds, so it's going to stay here.
Good hustle by Radigan, getting a hand on it.
7:52 to go here in the first quarter. Just underway from Maple Mountain High School on a Friday night. Thanks for tuning in here on Spanish Fork 17. Moving the basketball around the key. Here's Marcus Draney. Last time he saw Maple Mountain, Jerry, he went for 33 when he was a Lehigh Pioneer. And now he'll kick it back out, and Skyridge will reset.
Yeah, this is Skyridge's first year, Region 7. Next year they'll be in Region 8 with us.
And that one's knocked away. Here's Tyler Boyack. Tries to get ahead to Christensen, but Draney knocks it right back. And here come the Falcons. Draney to the basket, throws up a shot, gets it to go. And that'll be the first foul against Maple Mountain and the first 2 of the ball game for Marcus Draney.
Well, not only a turnover, but they convert points and a foul.
First foul on Tyler Boyack. As you'll see here on the graphic on your screen, the black team, or the team that's listed with black, is Skyridge. The white team will be Maple Mountain here. That one's up. Rebound is going to be pulled down. They're going to get Chase Berry, it looks like, with a reach. And they're going to actually get him with a hold, his first, and the first team foul. And the ball will come here to Maple Mountain. It will be Maple Mountain's ball, but it will be on the other side of the court.
Now look, I'm looking here. Brad Bird is taller than Berry. And we have Brad Bird listed at what? 6'5", so I'd say 6'4".
Here's Parker Christensen with the basketball for Maple Mountain's first set offensive possession of the night. And Christensen will take a 3, and he hits.
Oh, such a pretty shot. And Maple Mountain's going to need a lot of those. He averages about two a game, 2 3-pointers a game.
Here's Cuff. He mishandles it. Loose ball slapped back into the backcourt. Radican is going to come away with it, though. Here's Christensen. Pump fakes. Got him in the air. They'll reset.
Great discipline, not taking that shot.
Radigan will pull the basketball out. Here's Boyack for 3. That one is long. Rebound tipped by Christensen, but right into the hands of number 13, Jensen Hawkins. Marcus Draney for a long 2. That one round in and out, but Berry tips it in.
He plays like he's 6'6".
4-3 in favor of Skyridge. Moving the basketball. They drop it inside. It's going to be knocked away by Hawkins. Loose ball, and Skyridge will come away with it. Here's Berry in the backcourt. Inside, Draney floats up the trick shot, gets it to go. Have to give Marcus Draney credit. His 4 points have not been easy so far tonight, but Skyridge goes up 6-3.
Golden Eagles need to control the ball better. Can't let turnovers be converted into points. There's another turnover. That's 3.
Coming the other way. Boyack's going to, luckily, I think, knock the ball out of bounds.
He did.
So the ball will stay here, but Jerry, that could have been almost a massive turnover right there. And you got to chop for some points there if you're Skyridge.
Yeah, I mean, watching that Spanish Fort game that we did last week, the turnovers were the name of the game. Golden Eagles have to protect that basketball.
Cuff couldn't get the shot to go. Here's Brad Bird on the perimeter. Over here's Radigan. Christensen will come and get it. 5:19 to go. First quarter, 6-3 Skyridge here on Spanish Fork Community Network. Colton Bingham comes set the screen. Radigan to the basket.
Nice move, avoiding the charge.
A big bucket there. Maple Mountain trying to, I think, get some stuff going on their set, as we see there on the Car Guys instant replay.
Yeah, I've seen some great things from Radigan. What we need is more consistency. I love the way he plays, though.
Hawkins finds Draney on the back cut for 2. Sorry, that was Chase Berry, and Berry's got 4. Here's Bingham. He's guarded by Berry. Radigan will try to go around him. Now he'll have to pull it back out. A lot of standing around here early on for Maple Mountain. Radigan for 3. That one was long. Rebounds to be tipped out of bounds, it looks like, off Jensen. No, they're going to say off Brad Bird. And Jensen was the one that got to the highest point there, Jerry.
I agree with you there, but ref sees a difference, and there's the only opinion that matters.
8-5 in favor of Skyridge. Marcus Draney, number 4, attacks the basket. Now he'll pull it back out. There's a fadeaway jumper is off. Rebound, nice block out there by Radigan, and Maple Mountain will look to run in the front court.
Nice defense by Brad Bird, making him pass up that shot.
Boyack goes around the screen from Bingham, but again, nice switch by Skyridge.
I'll tell you, I'm impressed with Chase Berry. He is big and he's fast. He's quick.
In the middle, Bingham. That shot got deflected, it looks like, by Jensen Hawkins. And here's Braden Cuff into the front court for Skyridge. And Parker Christensen's going to get whistled for the block. The second team foul, the first against Christensen.
Oh, that was smart by Cuff. It looked like he initiated the contact, but I don't know. He made it a tough call for the official, and he called it against Christensen.
Ryan Reed, number 22, will check in here for the Skyridge Falcons.
I wonder if he's related to the Reed family from BYU.
Draney with the basketball. They'll move it up to the top. Inside, Jensen Hawkins and Boyack, and both holding on to the basketball. There will be a jump ball possession arrow to Maple Mountain with 3:21 to go. And the Golden Eagles will make a couple of changes. But, Jerry, you just kind of get the feel that one of the things Maple Mountain's going to have to do this year is win the hustle plays.
Yeah, and you know what? Tyler Boyack is one kid that will initiate that every time. I've been watching his play these last few games, and man, he's a winner. He wants to win.
We saw Boyack last season get his minutes increase as the season went on, as Matthew Ballard now with the basketball.
Hey, we have a Kurt Rambis sighting.
Here's a three by Boyack. That one is long. Rebound tipped around, and Marcus Draney will come up as Ethan Nelson also checked in for Maple Mountain. Chase Berry couldn't get it to go. It's going to be rebounded by Ballard, and he's calling for some help in the backcourt. Brad Bird calling for the ball underneath the basket. Here's Boyack one-on-one.
He does have a mismatch. Give him the ball underneath.
Ethan Nelson trying to cross over Draney and throws it away.
You know, that just shows just early in the season jitters, not quite in sync with each other. Ethan Nelson, another good kid that they bring off the bench. Also a great hustle factor.
It'll be something to watch, especially as Maple Mountain begins to get into region play. As Reed throws up a three, that one is off. Rebound, pulled by Tyler Boyack.
Boyack just wanted it more. Rise up. Oh, Ethan, take that shot.
Maple Mountain will move it around the perimeter. Here's Christensen, puts it on the floor, takes it to the basket, now drops it. Ballard for a little jump shot, couldn't get it to go. Berry with the rebound, and back comes Skyridge. Reed, he'll take another three, and this one rattles in, and it goes down for Ryan Reed.
Well, that just shows he's not shy.
Skyridge extends their lead out to 6 here with less than 2 minutes to play in the first. Christensen on the drive to the basket, puts this one up over Berry, but couldn't get it to go. And here's Cuff into the front court for Skyridge all the way, coast to coast with the left hand, and Braden Cuff's on the board. And I think head coach Johnny Averett wants a timeout with 1:36 to go here in the first quarter. Some easy baskets here coming for Skyridge.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the Eagles have to do, but right now this are they the
Falcons?
Falcons, yeah. The Falcons, man, they're just flying up and down the court.
So we'll take a moment here while we have the timeout. Let's take a moment to thank our sponsors for the first time tonight. We want to thank the Car Guys, Lance Wilson State Farm, MVP Sports, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, 2 Jacks Pizza, Mikkel Chris Jansen and Wise Attorneys at Law, and Dickerson Automotive for making this broadcast and many other broadcasts possible throughout the high school sports season. As right now it's not looking good for Maple Mountain, Jerry, but a quick run and the Golden Eagles will be right back in this.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great call for a timeout by Coach Averett. Settling down. Man, 3 turnovers in this first quarter.
Here's Boyack with the basketball, looking for somebody, and finally Christensen comes over, gets Reed in the air, goes to the hoop. Kicks it in the corner. Nelson now kind of double teamed, and a skip pass high, but Christensen went up and got it. Parker Christensen over Ethan Nelson in the corner. Not a lot, really. Skyridge has done a great job defensively here in the first quarter.
You know, one thing I noticed, Maple Mountain needs a little more of his speed.
As Christensen tries to get it to Ballard, throws it away. Cuff up ahead. Here's Draney with the reverse layup is good. He's got 6 in the early going, and that's a 10-point lead now for the Skyridge Falcons. Bird lowers the deck, the whistle's blown, and we'll see. It's going to be an offensive foul against Brad Bird. I think kind of a late call, but nonetheless, it was an offensive foul, the first against Bird and the third team foul.
I think the referees all wanted to see if someone else was going to call it.
You heard the whistle blow, and then you heard this kind of look between all the officials as who had got the foul. As we'll see a couple of changes here, as we'll see Braden Cuff come to the bench for Skyridge, Chase Berry back in the game.
You know, I kind of like that though. Sometimes you just got to put a guy on the floor, let him know you're serious. But the Golden Eagles, man, they need to find something in their set offense.
They're going to go now into a 2-3 zone, it looks like. Marcus Kromenhoek in off the bench. Nathaniel Hales off the bench for Maple Mountain, as the students getting into it for the first time tonight.
Yeah, it looks like ugly sweater night in the student section.
15 on the clock. Draney tried to go around Hales, but almost got the blocking foul. Draney now will try to do something with it. Gets it over to Reed. 6 on the clock, and Reed hits his second 3 of the night. Everything's going Skyridge. Parker Christensen at the buzzer, three-quarter court, and it's just a little bit short. But nonetheless, we've played one complete here from Maple Mountain High School. It's the Golden Eagles 5 and the Skyridge Falcons 18. You're watching high school basketball here on Spanish Fork 17.
Hi, welcome to Two Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jacks Spanish Fork or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
Start of the second quarter here on Spanish Fork 17. Right now, a very nice lead if you're in the visiting Skyridge Falcons. Ryan Pickens alongside Jerry Huffman. The students are out, the band is here, and right now the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles need to figure out something. 5 first quarter turnovers to our count, and a lot of those led to points for Skyridge.
You know, with Butler out, everything changes. You have to get used to different styles of play, different positions. Let's see how the Golden Eagles can adjust to it.
We've seen Maple Mountain go a little bit deeper into that bench with bringing in guys like Marcus Kromenhoek and a couple of others. So it's going to be kind of interesting, Jerry, to kind of see here how everything goes here the rest of the way. But something's got to change defensively for Maple Mountain.
Yeah, turnovers. I counted 5 turnovers that first.
Berry with the catch, hung on the rim, couldn't get it to go down. And coming back the other way, and the students will let him hear it for that one, as Parker Christensen will set up the offense.
Yeah, let's not make him mad. I have a feeling he can go off if he wants to.
Christensen takes a deep 3 and hits.
Nice.
A big bucket there for Maple Mountain to cut the lead to 10. You need probably a few more of those if you're the Golden Eagles to chip back in this one.
You know, only 2 Golden Eagles have scored. Parker Christensen with 2 threes and Radigan with a 2.
Here's Draney in the corner for 3. That one is long. Hales pulls the rebound. Maple Mountain will run. Hales being chased from behind, and Christensen deep 3. That one is off.
That's a heat check right there.
The ball's going to be tipped and out of bounds. They'll say it goes off of Radigan, and it will go here to Skyridge.
Yeah, nothing coming easy for the Golden Eagles. These Falcons, man, they seem to be everywhere.
18-8 in favor of visiting Skyridge Falcons, coming out of Region 7. They'll be tested this year by Mountain View and Timpview for sure. Here's Reed with the basketball. Gets it over Berry in the corner. Skyridge kind of slowing it down. Berry gets Ballard, tries to get it to Reed, and instead his bounce pass heads over to the table where the baseball team is selling hats, Jerry, and a good pass, just nobody on the other end.
I know that was a Larry Bird type bounce pass. Unlike Larry Bird, though, that Larry Bird would have scored that one.
Ballard in the high post. He thought about shooting over Barry. Here's Christensen trying to go around Drain. He takes to the basket, puts it up off the glass for two.
Gosh, that kid is fearless.
We'll see that on the Car Guys instant replay as he just took it right to the rack. Draney cross-court pass. Here's Barry with the basketball, and he traveled. So a turnover on the other end, and you have to kind of think, Jerry, this is one of those momentum changes where if Maple Mountain can get on a good run here, they can cut this lead.
Yeah, they cut it to single digits. Let's hope they can take the lead by halftime. I'll take that.
Oh. Hales looked for Cromanhook, nobody home, and here's Barry.
A little more miscommunication by the Golden Eagles.
Draney in the key, now kicks it back out. Here's Cuff on the drive, and he goes to the deck, throws it up, and luckily Skyridge able to get back to the basketball.
Yeah, that's 6 turnovers for the Golden Eagles.
Barry kicks it out, Cuff for 3, and he hits. An 11-point lead now here for Skyridge, 5.5 to go before halftime here at Maple Mountain. Christensen guarded by Cuff on the other end. He'll try to go to the basket. Here's Cromanhook for a shot, but it's off, and they're going to get a foul on Nathaniel Hales, number 2, with the body there. That's only the 14th foul. The first on Nathaniel Hales.
Yeah, but you look up there, the Falcons only have 1 team foul.
Both the JV and the sophomore game, both were very competitive games. They came down to the final minute. Here's Draney in the low post, puts this one up, gets the basket and the foul.
I think Hales is going to pick up another one for a push in the back.
And it will be Hales, his second.
Well, as small as Hales is, he needs to deny him down in the post, get him out of the post before he gets the ball in the post, and there's more attention on him.
Draney with 8 points so far on the evening, 8 of the 23 for Skyridge. Gets the free throw, he's now got 9.
You know, the Falcons have 4 people with scores. Golden Eagles still only with 2.
Here's a 3 on the way, Boyack, that one is off. Rebound pulled down by Cuff, and Skyridge will run. Barry now into the front court. He takes it coast to coast right up against Ballard, and there'll be a foul against the Golden Eagles again. And that's going to be the 6th team foul here against Maple Mountain. That will be the first, I believe, on Ballard.
That's a good foul by Ballard. Make him earn it at the line.
Barry on the night with 4 for the Falcons. That one is off, and that one was off pretty good.
So really good foul by Matthew Ballard right there.
And now we'll see Colton Bingham come back in the game for Maple Mountain. Ballard will head to the bench. If you're just joining us, no Dawson Butler tonight for Maple Mountain. And that one is going to be off again, so Barry misses 2 at the line. Opportunity for the Golden Eagles. And there's going to be a foul in the backcourt. Reed tried to go around him. And it will be the first foul on Ryan Reed.
You know, if it gets down to it, this game gets close. You know, Hackleberry, that's going to work. But those 2 free throws were missed really badly.
And now they wanted to make sure they had the right number. They originally put it on the board here as 32. There is no 32 on the floor, so
22, wasn't it?
It was 22, so the official went over the scores table and kind of made that change there, noted. Parker Christensen guarded by Braden Cuff in the backcourt. Here's Colton Bingham for 3. That one is off. Rebound tipped around. It's going to be won by Cameron Rennie. The ball's going to be thrown away, but I think Reed's going to bail him out, and it's going to stay here with Maple Mountain.
That was almost a 7th turnover.
Ryan Reed just kind of reached out to grab it and knocked it toward the sideline. Tried to then save it, Jerry, and just couldn't quite save it. Colton Bingham, number 14, with the basketball. And tries to get it in. It's knocked away, trying to find Cameron Rennie. going to the basket.
Lost art of the bounce pass.
They get it right inside. Croman hook, or sorry, I think that was Boyack.
That's Boyack.
Couldn't get it to go, and back the other way. Here comes Marcus Draney. Draney had it knocked away by Christensen, but he knocked it out of bounds before he could regain control. Parker Christensen's been very heavily pressuring the ball when Marcus Draney has it.
That's great, too. He's one of our quickest guys, and he has 90% of our points tonight.
Moving the basketball. Here is Hawkins, number 13. Will pull the basketball out. They'll try to get it inside to Berry, but Colton Bingham able to knock it out of bounds.
Yep, and shot clock is down to infinity. So, good defense by the Golden Eagles, all for naught.
What's that one up? That one's going to be knocked away. Loose ball.
Jump ball.
Jump
I think
ball.
That's going to be Skyridge.
Possession arrow favors Maple Mountain, so it will go with
that's
Maple
right,
Mountain.
second quarter.
So basketball to the Golden Eagles here as we'll get a couple of changes.
So was that a subtle mention for a shot clock? Was that subtle enough?
You know,
I'm going to say it every game until it happens.
Here's Cameron Rennie right to the basket for two.
Nice, easy
and a
points.
Very quick timeout wanted there by Jeff Gardner. And now a 12-point lead for Maple Mountain with 3:44 to go as we see on the Car Guys instant replay. The layup by Cameron Rennie. Let's take a moment here on Spanish Fork 17 tonight to thank our sponsors for making this broadcast possible tonight.
I'd like to thank the Car Guys for the Car Guys replay. Lance Wilson State Farm, MVP Sports, Triple T, Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, Two Jacks Pizza, Mikhail Christiansen and Wise, and Dickerson Automotive. So hey, score is 12-24. It's Christmas Eve, baby. Christmas Eve.
If it's Christmas Eve, I have a feeling there's one person out there, my mother, that would be very upset if I was here at the game tonight and not home in Oregon. So let's just say it's still the second week in December.
Okay.
3:44 to go in the second quarter, 24-12 lead right now for Skyridge. Jerry, Maple Mountain's made some defensive plays, but how do they now try to get things going to try to turn some of that defense into offense?
And first, stop the turnovers. Then take good shots. Everything on offense looks like it's ad hoc, like it's kind of being made up on the spot. Unbalanced shots, people looking for somebody and then finally just having to pull up and take a shot because nobody's open. So either screen and move, make it happen that way. Oh, travel.
Draney travels on his way to the basket right there, and that's going to be a turnover for the Falcons. It gives the ball back to Maple Mountain with 3:30 to go before the break. You have to think, Jerry, these next 3:30 is going to be very important as Cameron Rennie is left wide open. He'll take a three, and that one rattled in and out. It's going to go out of bounds, and Jerry Huffman with the assist.
Hey, quick hands. Save the camera.
So we'll stay here with Maple Mountain.
That was another dangerous cross-court pass, bringing the ball down. Almost got stolen.
Boyack the catch and shoot. That one rattled in and out. It's Bird with the board inside. Berry gets the block.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. He took that shot from NBA three-point range. Get a set shot, run the offense so we can get something cleaner.
Berry going to go to the basket, drops it inside. There's going to be a foul, though, as I believe it was Cuff who tried to get it to go. So 2:57 to go here before halftime, and it's going to be Jensen Hawkins, number 13, who's going to go to the free throw line. They're going to get Colton Bingham with his first personal. That's the 17th foul, too, against Maple Mountain as Hawkins gets the first one to rattle in and out. So now an interesting thing, Jerry, because any foul you commit now, if you're Maple Mountain,
1-and-1,
you're going to put them at the line. We'll have the elevates for you at the half as that one is going to rattle in and out. So 0 of 4 at the line for Skyridge the last 4 attempts.
Man, if I was Johnny, I'd test that theory. Let's do a little hack-a-falcon.
Boyack thought about the deep three. Rennie in the high post. Here's Bingham, pump fakes, takes the long two. That one's out, but right there is Radigan to get it to go for two.
That's crashing the boards.
And we're going to have a whistle after the play. I believe they're going to get a foul against Cameron Rennie after the play.
I didn't see what it was.
I saw the official explain, but maybe it was a delay of game warning. I don't know.
There's probably a delay of game warning. They didn't put a new player foul up on the scoreboard.
Radigan with the steal, and Draney just reaches at half court.
That's a smart play when Maple Mountain had numbers.
That's going to be a hold. That's the third team foul against the Skyridge Falcons.
And they still have 4 to give.
The first against Draney.
So really smart foul by Draney.
Tyler Boyack will bring the basketball up here for Maple Mountain. 2:17 to go here before halftime. Maple Mountain down by 10. Radigan tries to take it to the basket. Here's Brad Bird, number 5. Skip pass to Rennie, drops it inside. Radigan goes up against Hawkins, and an offensive foul called against Radigan.
I swear Hawkins was laying all over him.
And he wasn't set. He was bent over like this. I don't
get that at all, but it's not my call, I guess.
Seemed like, unless I'm seeing it differently, I'm seeing him kind of hanging over, and then he spins. Unless they're saying that Radigan kind of hooked him as he went to the basket. 24-14 here with just a little under 2 minutes, and here's going to be a blocking foul against Maple Mountain, and that's going to put him at the line, and that's going to go, I believe, against Colton Bingham.
Well, I don't know, there just seems to be an inordinate number of fouls against the Golden Eagles as there is against the Falcons.
And that's going to get Brad Bird his second.
That's 2 quick ones by Brad Bird.
Iliunga at the line, and he'll miss the first, so now 0 of 5 as Matthew Ballard will come back in the ball game for, I believe, Brad Bird. Minute 54 to go before halftime here at Maple Mountain High School. The second for Iliunga is good.
So Ilunga now with 1 point. Now see, that to me looked like a push.
Here's Radigan as he takes to the basket.
With
left
the
hand.
Left hand.
Minute 32 to go before halftime. Here's Barry. Draney almost had that pass stolen by Boyack. Here's Barry to the basket. He's kind of extending off with that other hand and almost throws it away. In fact, here comes Maple Mountain. Here's Boyack into the front court. Out to Christensen. He'll take a deep three, and that's good.
Oh, yeah, transition points.
And now, just like that, back within 6 with just a little over a minute to play. Braden Cuff with the basketball. That one's knocked away and stolen. Here's Radigan in the front court, up ahead. Christensen will lay it up and in for 2.
Nice. We have a ball game.
I'm kind of surprised to see here that head coach Jeff Gardner's not getting a quick timeout here, but he must trust the men on the court to kind of get it back under control.
I guess I would have called a timeout as well. Kind of calm your kids down.
Here's Draney with the basketball, number 4. I think right now they're just going to, Skyridge just going to play for the final shot.
Stall ball.
20 seconds here. Draney, number 4, he has 9 points in the first half for Skyridge. Here's Braden Cuff. 11 on the clock here at Maple Mountain High School.
High post.
Barry tries to take it to the basket, puts it up, and gets the roll with 6. They're going to have to hurry. Boyack coming the other way. He's going to try. He puts it up, and he got hit as he went out of bounds. And the question is, they're going to give him 3 shots. They're going to say he bumped him as he went to shoot him.
He's been doing that all game. The person who has the ball, using that big body to kind of just readjust their line. You can't do that. They finally caught him on it. and he wisely put the shot up as he was fouled. So nice job, Tyler Boyack.
Boyack will shoot 3. Hits the first. Now, as you can see at home, there's nobody in the key here, and that's got to be a little. There's no time on the clock, so this is the end of the first half, and Boyack gets the second to go down. Just kind of comes down to concentration at this point. A chance to cut it within 3. And Boyack will just do that.
That's clutch. I have that as his first points of the game.
So Boyack hits 3. It's 27-24 at the half. Maple Mountain trailing Skyridge. A good opportunity for Maple Mountain to take the momentum into the locker room. I believe we're going to take a quick break here on Spanish Fork 17. When we get back, we'll have the Maple Mountain High School elevates for you here on Spanish Fork 17.
Yep.
The Car Guys has the best selection of used vehicles at the best prices in Spanish Fork. The Car Guys know their automobiles to get you the best car for your needs and your budget. The Car Guys at 872 North Main. MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports. We've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main.
So back here at Maple Mountain High School, it's 27-24 in favor of the Skyridge Falcons. A nice late run for Maple Mountain, though. Cut the lead to 3 here at Maple Mountain High School. We're going to momentarily get ready to send you down to the elevates, who will be performing here at the half here at Maple Mountain High School. They've had a great legacy, I guess you could say, here at Maple Mountain High School.
Looks like they got new costumes.
So it should be good. Let's set it down onto the floor with the elevates.
Good Janet Watson and Grayson Shinnicky. Junior captain is Katie Hamilton. And sophomore captain Kevin Hernandez and Aubrey Hickson. Now give it up for your Golden Eagle cheerleaders.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798.
Here at halftime at Maple Mountain High School, the Golden Eagles have trimmed the lead down to 3, 27-24. As we'll get ready here in a couple minutes to start the third quarter, Ryan Pickens and Jerry Huffman here is definitely a holiday theme from the student section tonight. And that student section in the second quarter, Jerry, had some stuff to get excited about.
Ugly Christmas sweater day, looks like. Yeah, the end of that second quarter flurry, man, that was awesome. That's what we need to see more of. Forcing turnovers, just playing good, solid defense, and getting points off of it.
Maple Mountain in that second quarter, you kind of saw Parker Christensen do a great job kind of with some lockdown defense. They turned some of those defense into points. Let's go back and let's look at those keys to the game, Jerry, that we mentioned in the pregame, and kind of evaluate how Maple Mountain's doing so far.
You know, one of them was Dawson Bueller. Of course, he's out, but his replacement, Colton Bingham, you know, need to see more effort, not more effort, but more points from him down low. I mean, if you're replacing Bueller, it looks like everything is on the shoulders of Parker Christensen, who has 13 points. Let's see, Will Radigan with 6. Tyler Boyack with those 3 free throws at the end of the quarter, or end of the half. And Cameron Reddy winning with the 2. So everything's on the shoulders of Parker Christensen, which was one of the keys of the game. He needs to have a big game, but Actually, Tyler Boyack does as well.
And definitely something now with Dawson Butler not there. This definitely is a guard-heavy Maple Mountain team. So, Jerry, looking forward to the second half, Maple Mountain has the momentum, but they have to keep that momentum in the third and fourth quarter.
Yeah, and the other intangible that Dawson Butler gives you is he causes turnovers. He's got quick hands. He gets into passing lanes, his long arms, so just kind of disrupt the flow of the opponent. So who's going to step up and do that for the Golden Eagles?
For Maple Mountain, I have Tyler Boyack with 3, Parker Christensen with 13, Radigan with 6, Cameron Rennie with 2. On the other side for Skyridge, Marcus Draney has 9, Chase Berry with 6, Braden Cuff with 6, Alunga with 1, and then Reed with 6.
Yeah, that's exactly what I have.
Maple Mountain here in the second half will start Christensen, Boyack, Radican, Bird, and Bingham. So going a little bit inside with Brad Bird and Colton Bingham. On the other side, Skyridge will put Ryan Reed into the starting lineup for the second half with Marcus Draney, Chase Bird, Jensen Hawkins, and Braden Cuff. And here's Marcus Draney with the basketball, guarded by Boyack. We're underway, start of the third quarter here on Spanish Fork 17.
I really liked Christensen on Draney.
There's Cuff with the back cut, lays it in for 2.
Christensen on Draney caused a lot of turnovers, and now they have Christensen on Ryan Reed.
Bird right to the basket, kicks it into the corner. Christensen, that one's off.
Just a bit long.
And here's Draney up ahead. Barry with the basketball, steps to the key, and then it looks like we're going to get a foul against Maple Mountain. The official took the, and it's going to be a foul of Brad Bird, his 3rd.
He was stationary. Oh, man. That's 3 on Bird, if that's true.
And so now, right off the bench, it's going to be Matthew Ballard coming in, and heading back to the bench is Brad Bird. Reed set to inbound the basketball for Skyridge. Here's Chase Berry, puts it right on the deck, right at Berry, and Berry, that one was long.
I love how Ballard plays.
But Hawkins able to hit the turnaround jumper. He's got 2. And Skyridge kind of coming out the way they did in that first quarter.
Ballard's not going to be pushed around underneath. I like it.
Here's Bingham against Berry, right to the hoop, and that one just couldn't go down. Rebound pulled down. Here comes Skyridge the other way. Out ahead, Reed runs it down in the corner. Good save, and here is Marcus Draney guarded by Boyack. Draney averages 22 a game for the Skyridge team. Gets it in the high post. Back cut, couldn't get it to go. And here's a loose ball, Boyack, and I think there's going to be a foul here in the backcourt. We'll see who it's going to be with the push.
Yeah, nice job getting in the pass lane, getting the steal by Boyack, and then getting a foul.
And that's going to be Draney, his second, first team foul. You kind of think maybe Maple Mountain, if they could get the 3rd on Draney early in the third quarter, maybe that might give them a little bit of some relief. That one's thrown away.
Turnovers.
Up ahead of the end of the front court. Reed thought about it, and Christensen with the block, but I think that they're going to say he got him on the arm. His second, be the 3rd team foul, and now it's going to put Ryan Reed. Right now, it's going to put Ryan Reed at the line. He's got 6 points for Skyridge tonight. And the first one here is good. So all that momentum Maple Mountain had at the end of the second quarter all of a sudden has gone back to Skyridge. And the free throw misses long here again.
So what is that, 2 for 5 or, no wait, 2 for?
2 for their last 6, I want to say. Kind of lost track since halftime. And Reed hits the second of 3 there. Skyridge, their lead back to 9. Boyack with the basketball. Here's Christensen, baseline drive. Takes it right at Berry, and that's going to be a foul here against Chase Berry.
Good job, Parker Christensen, initiating the contact. Drawing a foul. I like it.
it'll be the second foul against Chase Berry. Second team foul here in the second quarter as Christensen misses the first one and just barely got some of the rim there. Maple Mountain on Tuesday, they'll head up to Juan Diego to take on
Juan Diego.
Juan Diego. I was trying to think. I think they're the Eagles of some point. I want to say they're the Soaring Eagles, but I could be wrong on that. That one will be live here on Spanish Fork 17. So Jerry and I, we get to hit the road. Here's Draney for three. That one is long. Rebound pulled down by Radican. Hawkins, a lot of reaching there, but no call. Here's the baseline inside
nice
for Ballard.
Ballard was expecting that too. I was worried he almost got that one right in the teeth if he wasn't.
Back to 6. Here's Barry. Reed with the shot. He'll take a 3 and he hits. Reed with 11.
Reed, I had him for averaging, under 3 points a game.
Christensen right to the basket. Barry affected the shot. Here's Draney for Skyridge. All the way, coast to coast, lost it, and it's up ahead. Boyack to Christensen, and Parker Christensen will get the 2 on the other end.
He should have dunked it.
Out to a 7-point lead. They cut back into it here, but they need a few more stops. Braden Cuff, number 23, with the basketball. Here's Draney. The crowd starting to get into it here as well.
Their head coach looks really familiar. Do you know where he coached at last year?
I don't, but I've had the same feeling as Colton Bingham comes away with the basketball. Boyack calling for it. He'll come get it. He'll take a 3, and that one rattled in and out. Barry pulls the rebound. Trying to go coast to coast. Radican gets set inside. No call. Count the basket for Barry.
Yeah, ref's not going to give you that one.
A lot of the Skyridge students that are here have moved right next to the Maple Mountain students. About the first 3 rows.
There's a police officer standing right there. So
moving the basketball around. Here's Radican. Goes around the screen. He's going to take it all the way to the basket, and that one's blocked. Second attempt, good.
Nice job, Colton Bingham. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Picking up for Dawson Butler. Right place, right time.
I have that being Bingham's first bucket of the night. Most importantly, it brings that lead back down to 7. Trying to keep it close here in the third quarter as we move under halfway done here with the third quarter. Here's Barry, spins on Ballard to the basket. They're going to get Ballard with the foul.
He got a piece of it going up. Man, I am so impressed the way Ballard is playing Barry today.
The second against Ballard. That's the third team foul here against Maple Mountain. And Barry, who did not do so hot at the line in the second quarter, will miss this one here again.
I'm telling you, I'm onto something. Hackleberry.
You have a deep enough bench. I mean, you could do it. Might be a little early to do that, though. Second one is long as well. Ballard pulls the rebound for Maple Mountain.
Yeah, he's over from the line.
Up ahead, here's Christensen. Ballard with the basketball. Tyler Boyack now running things for the Golden Eagles.
Got a mismatch down low with Colton and Reed.
Here's a 3. Radican can't get it to go, and now it's pulled down by Hawkins. Boyack almost had the steal.
You got the switch you wanted, but you don't take advantage of it.
And Barry there tried to get the cross-court pass. He just kind of lost control. So we'll go for a turnover and back over with 3:15 to go to the Golden Eagles here in the third. Parker Christensen really stealing the show tonight for Maple Mountain. Ballard with the basketball. The high post. A lot of standing around for this Maple Mountain offense tonight. Radican trying to go to the basket here. He'll get it to go up off the rim, but it won't roll down. It'll be the third foul against Skyridge. We'll see who they're going to get. And they're going to get, I believe, Jensen Hawkins with his first personal. And so now Radican will go back to the free throw line. Radican was 6 tonight for the Golden Eagles. And these points, Jerry, are huge as you get in the third or fourth quarter to score with that clock stop. And that one was long.
Looks like Rennie's coming in for Bingham.
Radigan ready to go here with the second one. And Radigan gets it to go.
That's more like a Radigan shot.
38-32, 2:50 to go, third quarter here at Maple Mountain. Ready to go around the screen. Berry with the basketball. Here's Cuff for three. Good closeout, but Cuff hit it. Cuff now with 10 for Skyridge. Back to 9-point lead here for the Falcons. Here's Ballard inside, spins. That one couldn't go down. Rebound tipped around. Berry controls it up ahead. Here's Cuff. Cuff will catch it and lay it up off the glass for two.
You saw Christensen hustling back there.
Rennie almost lost the pivot foot. And Christensen puts it on the deck. Tries to go right at Cuff. Banks it in, but no, couldn't get the roll. That roll tonight just has not gone Maple Mountain's way.
Yeah, and you know, some of these Maple Mountain players that come in, you know, that don't get a lot of playing time, you can see them being a little bit tentative. They got to be more confident, more sure of what they're doing, make good passes.
The first foul on Braden Cuff, and Christensen misses the first free throw. As Cameron Webb will come in off the Skyridge bench. 2:04 to go here in the third quarter. It's a 43-32 lead here for the Falcons of Skyridge. And now Ethan Nelson will come in as Ballard will take a seat. Christensen here looking for one of two. That one was long, and Hawkins pulls the rebound for Skyridge. Ryan Reed running the point, number 22 here for the Skyridge Falcons. He completely slid there, no call. Here's Draney on the cut. Inside, offensive foul on Marcus Draney. Cameron Rennie was set right in the key. That's the third on Draney.
3 on Draney.
We're going to see him go to the bench here, as quickly getting off the bench is Wyatt Parkinson, number 3. And Draney will go take a seat with 3.
We've seen a lot from Ryan Reed. Wondering if something happened to Ilunga, who was one of their starters. Haven't seen him all this second half.
44-32, minute 40 to go here. Tyler Boyack with the basketball. Goes around, gets in. Here's Rennie for a long two. That one is going to bounce in and out. Nelson pulls the rebound, and Maple Mountain will reset. 1:27 to play here in the third quarter, and they're going to get a foul. I believe that's on Wyatt Parkinson.
Yeah, just in the game.
Who just checked in for Draney.
So this half, it looks like the Falcons have more fouls than the Eagles.
That could be huge, especially getting down the stretch. Maple Mountain's almost in the bonus. Baseline drive, Nelson, it looks like, puts it up. That one was long. Rebound, fought for inside Rennie, but
nice
he was on
hustle,
the
Cameron
baseline.
Rennie.
The hustle hadn't been on the baseline there. And now here with a minute 20 to go here in the third quarter, Skyridge will get the basketball. 44-32, minute 14 to go in the third quarter. Ilunga back in the ball game. Here's Berry inside, battling two defenders, can't get the roll, and Cameron Rennie gonna get the foul. That's going to be the first on Cameron Rennie, the 4th team foul, and now you're gonna put number 44, Berry, back to the free throw line.
Yeah, he hasn't been too helpful from the free throw line. Harry gets one to go. So that's his first points of the half that I have. So after 8 in the first half, sitting on 1 right now for the second.
And the second one misses long. Nathaniel Hales, number 2, pulls the rebound here for Maple Mountain. Here's Radigan, trying to go to the basket. He'll pull it out. Hales kicks it to Christensen. Baseline drive, Christensen right to the basket against Barry.
Man, they cannot stop him. That's so much fun to watch that kid.
And if that's Barry, that's his third. And it is going to be the third on Chase Barry. So now Skyridge getting in a little bit of foul trouble themselves with Barry and Draney.
Well, 2 shots here, but now they're going to be in the bonus.
As Marcus Draney heads back to the bench here with 3. Christensen will look to try to see if he can get a pair at the line. Maple Mountain trailing this one by 12 here in the third, and the first one good for Christensen. As Draney, and then it's going to be Jensen Hawkins back in the game here for Skyridge.
Yeah, Ilunga as the starter hasn't got much playtime this game.
Christensen's second on its way is good. So Christensen gets it to go. 10-point game here. 50 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Pressure comes, and that one knocked away by Radigan, but almost a turnover. It's going to go out of bounds, though, back to Skyridge. But again, you got to love the defensive effort there from Will Radigan.
Yeah, great effort by Will Radigan. You know, every time I hear his name, I think Great Mouse Detective. You ever watch that Disney show? Radigan. He was the big bad guy. Let's hope he can be the big bad guy for the Falcons.
Draney trying to dribble through here. Boyack pressuring the ball pretty good. Draney will pull it back out, and Skyridge probably content just to play for the final shot. Boyack has been on Draney all this game, as for the most part, has done a pretty nice job. Draney not yet to his average.
I still prefer Christensen on Draney, but maybe giving him a rest this quarter. Switch it up, put him back on in the fourth.
And I think we're getting a timeout here with 10 seconds to play here in the quarter. Let's take a timeout, and because I mean they're taking one on the floor, so we might as well. Let's go ahead and thank our sponsors for making this broadcast possible tonight. We got Dickerson Automotive, Mikkel Christiansen, and Wise Attorneys at Law, 2 Jack's Pizza, Triple T Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and VP Sports. Lance Wilson, State Farm, and the car guys. Thank them for making this broadcast, and are many others possible throughout the season. Basketball is just starting to get going. In a couple of weeks, Jerry, I mean, non-region play will be over, and now games will start to count. Where
that's
does
after the Christmas
stand
break
right now?
Man, I don't know. I kind of don't think I've seen the same Maple Mountain team each time we've seen them. It's always kind of a different iteration. The only consistency is Parker Christensen so far.
Draney to inbound. Here's Barry back out to Reed. 6 on the clock, and a travel on Ryan Reed to turn it over with 6.2.
You know, so BYU's coach, Rex Reed, back in the 90s, had a couple boys named Ryan and Robbie Reed. I wonder if he's a relation. I'm going to have to find that out.
You would have a much better idea on that than I would.
I think I got the names right. Dad, 2 kids.
4 seconds on the clock for Boyack. You have to do something quick, and he almost threw it away. Christensen at the horn. Got it!
Oh, yeah!
Parker Christensen
Clutch.
at the horn hits the 3. We'll check that out on the Car Guys instant replay as just as time expires. Christensen hits the 3. We've played 3 here from Maple Mountain High School. It's Skyridge 44, Maple Mountain 37. You're watching high school basketball on Spanish Fork 17.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
Start of the fourth quarter here on Spanish Fork 17. Ryan Pickens and Jerry Huffman here at Maple Mountain High School, where the Golden Eagles have had a couple of nice runs. Jerry, they get it close, but they haven't been able to quite get the game to tie or to get a lead yet tonight.
No, I mean, that 3-point at the end of the third quarter was huge. Cutting it from a double-digit lead down to a manageable 7. 8 minutes to go. Let's hope they can do it. Someone has to take charge, say, I'm not going to let this happen.
And right now, something key to mention, Chase Berry, Marcus Draney, both with 3 for Skyridge. And if you think of it, if you can get maybe a 4th on Draney to send to the bench, because you have to think the Falcons are going to run a lot through number 4.
I'll tell you what, I would foul Berry every chance I got, him being 1 for 8. 1 for 6.
Brad Bird steps through the defense, puts up a shot, and there's going to be a foul.
Ooh, and if that's on Berry, that's 4.
Skyridge looking for a travel.
Nope, and that's going to be on Jensen, his 2nd.
That's the 8th team foul. So Brad Bird now will get a chance to shoot a pair. And Jerry, really important for Maple Mountain to take advantage of this at the line and try to see if they can score with that clock stop.
Yeah, and everyone in this Maple Mountain team are pretty decent free throw shooters.
It will be a 1-and-1. They're going to say the foul happened on the ground, not on the shot. So a 1-and-1 for Brad Bird, and he gets the first.
And he's on the board. At least according to my sheet, that's his first points.
He comes in averaging about 8 a ball game.
Yeah, I have him at 8 or 9, so he's well below his average.
And there's going to be, it looks like a lane violation here against Maple Mountain. He missed the free throw
it's okay,
anyway.
It didn't go anyways, or else, man.
And so 7:45 to go here in the 4th quarter, and it'll be Braden Cuff, number 23, bringing the basketball up for Skyridge. In the high post, moving the basketball around. Cuff
hands.
had it knocked away. It went out of bounds. It's going to stay.
I don't know about that.
It's going to stay here. It looked pretty close, but.
Well, I thought Christensen was hitting it that way, and then Hawkins or Clough hit it the other way.
Draney baseline, puts up a shot,
ball.
Gets his 2nd, and puts it in. Big bucket there by Marcus Draney. Here's Boyack the other way.
Well, I guess they could have called a travel on that, but since it didn't hit any rim, he got his own rebound and put it up, but it is a judgment call.
Hales got stripped. Here's Draney ahead of the pack. Boyack chasing, and Draney count the basket and the foul.
Wow. I thought he had a hard foul, too. Just shows the strength of Draney.
And that's going to be Tyler Boyack's 2nd. We'll see. As we saw it there on the Car Guys instant replay. And the lead back to 10 here for Skyridge with 7:08 to go in the 4th quarter. Draney at the line has had a quiet 3rd quarter. Was on the bench for a little bit there with his 3rd personal. And Draney hits the 2nd free throw. I guess, hits the free throw to make it a 3-point play, I should say. Boyack guarded by Ryan Reed in the backcourt.
I knew what you meant.
Glad somebody does it out there, Jerry, because probably somebody at home wanted a correction on that. Or
I have the Ryan Pickens translator in my brain.
That one's going to be a foul here. It looks like the ball's going to go out of bounds. We'll stay here with Maple Mountain with 6:53 to go. Great to be with everybody here at Maple Mountain High School. Still early, a young high school basketball season here on Spanish Fork 17. Up ahead of the pack, Boyack's going to come from behind and strip it. Here's Christensen in the backcourt. Pulls it back out. Here's Bingham for a big 3. Got it!
There you go. 5 points now for Bingham. I remember last year I just wanted that kid to eat a sandwich, and now look at him. They grow up so fast.
6:25 to go, 4th quarter. Ryan Reed pressured by Nathaniel Hales. It gets it in the middle, and one guy, Cuff, goes to the ground, wanted a foul call, and there's a floater good for Jensen Hawkins. 10-point lead here. Hales with the basketball.
Hey, Parker Christensen did get himself a piece of
Boyack, a
Cuff.
really deep 3. Couldn't get it to go, though. Rebound pulled down by Berry.
Yeah, those Falcons in no hurry. Enjoying a 10-point lead.
Cuff, that one
swatted.
Blocked Berry, and they're going to get a foul on Christensen. Kind of looked like Berry almost hit that line before the foul, and that would be the 3rd on Parker Christensen.
That was great sportsmanship. Christensen coming to pick up Berry.
So 5:46 to go, 4th quarter, 51-41. Favor of Skyridge. Marcus Draney to inbound here for the Falcons. Draney looking to cut through the lane. Kicks it. Here's Barry for three, and he hits.
Man.
And they'll lead just like that, back out to 13.
Yeah, his first three-pointer of the game.
Radigan splits the defense, takes the two, missed it. Barry tips it, and looks like out of bounds.
Golden Eagles, if it's not a foul.
And we'll see here. A couple of calls here coming. I'm not sure what their little conference between the two officials. And they're going to have a foul, it looks like here.
That'll put him in the bonus. They'll be shooting 1-1 if it's a foul. Wait.
He went like this, like to the scores table, held two fingers up like he was making an 11.
So a foul on the Falcons? I'm confused.
But there's nothing going up on the board, so I guess at the end of the day, just ball out of bounds to Maple Mountain. Christensen behind the back. Bingham got him in the air.
Got him in the air.
Jumper is.
Take it to the hole, Bingham.
Barry looks down the floor. Here's Cuff. A nice job there over to Hawkins for the layup.
Court awareness, young man. Court awareness.
Christensen looked like a defensive back there. And this time he just takes it right to the basket for two. .13-point game, under 5 to play. Maple Mountain needs some stops, and they need him quick.
I think the Falcon coach spends more time on the court than his players do.
5:33 to go, or 4:33 to go, and they're going to get Boyack, it looks like, with a reach.
Ooh, that was ticky-tack. That's 3 on Boyack, 3 on Bird. Other than that, Golden Eagles in pretty good shape foul-wise, except it puts Draney to the line.
Be a 1-and-1 for Marcus Draney, who has 14 points is on the night, heads to the line here for a huge 1-and-1. It hits the front end.
So Draney missed his 2 free throws. Then he was 1 for 3, and now 2 for 4. Right. Something like that. I don't math well. It's Friday. I shouldn't have to do math on a Friday.
So 58-43, fourth quarter. Maple Mountain looking to try to make a run here. Boyack goes around the screen. Offensive foul against Brad Bird. And that will be a turnover.
4 on Bird, who I have 1 point in this contest.
Has been in foul trouble for a good portion of it. Picked up 2 pretty quick in that first quarter and had to go to the bench.
Yeah, bang, bang. I mean, 1 on the defensive end, 1 on the offensive end.
Maple Mountain tried to pick up the defense. Loose ball picked up. Here comes Skyridge. Reed splits the defense, gets it over. Here's Cuff. Will pull it back out over to Marcus Draney. Draney will just pull it out right now.
Smart move by Skyview, just eating some time off the clock.
58-43, 4 minutes to go, fourth quarter. Right around the screen, Draney will pull it out. Skip pass, here's Cuff all the way to the basket. Missed the layup, a loose ball, and they're going to get a foul, looks like, I believe, on Colton Bingham on the reach.
Yeah, Bingham reached and knocked the ball out, but they caught him.
Second on Bingham, that will be a 1-and-1 for Jensen Hawkins, who picked up the rebound off of the Braden Cuff miss. And that one was long, misses the front end. Maple Mountain needs some quick buckets, preferably some 3-pointers here with about just a little over 3.5. Christensen goes around the double pick. Here's the 3 for Boyack. That one ripped in and out. Bingham
Nice.
on the offensive end gets it to go for 2. And timeout, Johnny Averett and Maple Mountain.
So 3-pointers being unkind to the Golden Eagles tonight. I count, let's see, 2 by Christensen, and 1 by Bingham. That's all I have.
So let's go ahead here and get our sponsors in here in the fourth quarter. Right now with Maple Mountain trailing Skyridge thank Two Jacks Pizza, Chris Jansen and Wise attorneys at law, Dickerson Automotive, MVP Sports, Triple T Heating, Cooling and Plumbing, Lance Wilson State Farm, and of course the Car Guy.
Yep, end of the game, we'll have an MVP Sports MVP of the game.
And right now, as you take a look at Skyridge, Jerry, you have to think Skyridge is probably going to slow it down and make you come up with some stops.
Yeah, I mean, Nickel Mountain has to do something different. It's hard because, like I said before, every game seems to be a different, different identity for these Golden Eagles.
And you have to really, one thing that should be mentioned, Colton Bingham, the game that he's had tonight, I mean, really stepping in for Dawson Butler, and he's done a pretty good job. Not the most points, but it seems like when Maple Mountains needed a key putback, he's found a way to do it.
Yeah, he's got 7 points, all those coming in the second half, so he's starting to step. He was starting to find his rhythm.
Maple Mountain will bring kind of a full court press. Draney quickly gets it in. Right back into the hands. Draney tries to go coast to coast. He'll pull it back out. And Christensen's going to get the foul, and that's going to be his fourth.
And they're calling this game really tight, as if there's some hidden tension between these two teams.
And that's the fourth, and Maple Mountain can't really afford to take out Parker Christensen, Jerry, because he's been your offense for the better part of this ball game.
Yeah, but that being said, someone else needs to step up. Radigan and Boyack. Boyack usually averages about 16 points, has 3 free throws. Of course, the iron has been unkind to him tonight, so he's been doing it defensively on Draney, holding him under his average of 24-25. He only has 16 points. So doing it on the defensive end, we need to see some offensive production, though.
Draney's second rattles in.
And I know the kid. I've talked to him, and he's going to be beating himself up about it. So it's not as if he doesn't want to score points, but these young men, they put a lot on their shoulders that probably shouldn't be.
Bird throws it away. Draney takes it coast to coast, and that might have just been the exclamation point for the Skyridge Falcons.
Ballard looking to check in for the Golden Eagles.
Brad Bird on the other end, though, gets this one to go.
There's some points. We're going to need a lot of production from Brad Bird this year. He's a big body inside.
As Radigan will get called for the foul. That's the second on Will Radigan. And now it will be Berry to go to the line to shoot a pair. In the double bonus now for the rest of the 2:47.
Yeah, I have him at 1 for 8 from the line, 1 for 9.
Berry misses the first. Ballard will come back in. Nathaniel Hales, it looks like, back in as well for Maple Mountain. And Berry misses the second.
Wow, he's all over the place on those free throws, and I hope the coaches on that staff see how this Falcon team struggles from the line and use that to their advantage in the last 2 minutes.
Christensen straight up. He's going to go to the line as he draws the foul.
Christensen is not only putting points on the board, but he's drawing a lot of these Falcon fouls.
Braden Cuff picks up the foul, his second. And Parker Christensen will shoot 2 since it's a shooting foul. And he hits the first.
That's 23 points I have for Christensen.
23 of 48, Jerry. That's pretty good number. Couldn't get the second to go. Draney pulls the rebound. He's going to be pressured in the backcourt. Boyack and Christensen and Hales all try to get a part of him, and now Skyridge will pull it back out. Ryan Reed, who's ran most of the point guard duties in the second half, gets the ball over. Here's Draney now in the corner. And timeout called here by Skyridge.
I'm sorry, but that coach was all up in that ref's face with the timeout.
So 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go. A 62-48 lead here for the Skyridge Falcons as this is the last time Maple Mountain's at home until region play.
Yeah, they go down to Dixie, down there in nice southern Utah, play a few games there, come back up, travel to Juan Diego, and then it's break, right?
They'll have Juan Diego on Tuesday, then go to St. George, come back, and they'll have Westlake.
Okay, and then I think region play starts on the 6th. So, man, I can't believe it's already, you know, the first part of preseason is almost over.
And it goes by quick. I mean, you and I have talked the last couple of years how right now it's easy to say it's a long season, but once you get into region play, and region play ends in the middle of February, just after Valentine's Day, Jerry, that goes by pretty quick. That's a 7-week region.
And it's one thing I try and iterate to these kids. You know, they're young, they don't understand, but hey, it goes by fast. Enjoy not just the game, but enjoy the process. Enjoy the practices every day. Oh, called for a travel.
There'll be a travel there, and that will give the ball back to Maple Mountain here. Parker Christensen saying, okay, who's going to inbound it? And so now it's going to be Wyatt Parkinson back in the ball game here for Skyridge. 2:06 to go, fourth quarter.
Yeah, like I was saying, you know, these guys don't realize right now is the funnest time of their life they're going to have. They're on the court with their brothers. They get to practice every day. I tell them the same thing in football. You know, enjoy the process, enjoy the fun, get better. The product will take care of itself.
Well, you know, it's something that Jerry, even me and my friends have talked about, is that's kind of the fun part about high school sports is you don't have a lot of other problems. You just have, like you said, it's still fun enough where you can just kind of go and have fun.
Yep. You know, a lot of these kids aren't going to go on to the next level and play ball. So
Nathaniel Hales got called for the foul. That's his third, and it's going to put Jensen Hawkins at the line to shoot a pair.
So that's nice. Bring in the young guy Hales. Give up his 5 fouls, and let's see if we can get back the hard way.
And that one misses off. Ballard pulls the rebound, and here is Boyack. Boyack coast to coast spins, takes it off the glass, but too strong. Draney pulls the rebound, and Boyack reaches in the backcourt and knocks it away. That's going to be the four.
Pokes it from behind. Must have got, you know, ref, when you reach back and try and pick it that way, even if you don't touch them, the ref are usually going to call it.
Sometimes, and this is the hard part, is oftentimes it's not what the ref actually saw, but it's the way it looks.
It's exactly the way it looks. You know, I love that move when I play church ball, and I get called for it every time.
Draney will head to the free throw line to shoot two. Maple they're the double bonus, and the first one is good.
So Draney now at 20, creeping up to his average of 24, 25.
And Parkinson back in. I would imagine we're going to start seeing some of those starters come out of the ballgame. Ryan Reed, a very nice ball game for the Falcons tonight. Well above his average.
He has 11 points. I had him down averaging 2 or 3. So
Draney hits the second. Minute 40 to go, fourth quarter. Maple Mountain trying to mount a last-second comeback.
You know, I tell you what, win or lose, you know, these kids work hard. I love to watch them play.
Christensen misses. Barry with the rebound, gets it ahead, and Skyridge back cut. There's a layup for Cuff.
You know, another bright point. I think midway through the season they may get Hall back, Dawson Hall. Now I don't know as a junior what kind of effect he can have on this game, but if he's anything like his two brothers, that could be the spark that these Golden Eagles need.
Up ahead, here's Barry. He thought about it. He'll just pull it out with about a minute to go. Looks like Skyridge might be content, Jerry, just to run the rest of this clock out.
I think so, and I don't think the Golden Eagles are going to foul either.
Skip pass, here's Barry, and he had a wide open. If he was going to shoot it, he would have shot it. Second time he had a wide open look.
I think they're just going to play some four corners.
Parkinson, and now Here's Draney. He'll just kind of pull it out. 37 seconds. Double team comes in the corner.
Yep, 4 corners, ball game. Once again, you know, it's the smart thing to do with the way the rules are written, but it sure doesn't make for an exciting basketball game. You know, I'd love to see the implementation of a shot clock. Once again, I'll call for it.
And some states have done that, where they've gone to a 30-second or a 35-second shot clock.
Yeah. So down to 10 seconds now, and at 67-48, we'll see if they actually take a last shot.
And with a second and a half, they will run it out, and that's the way this one will end. So Skyridge comes in to Maple Mountain tonight and comes out on top with a 67-48 win over the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles. We'll take a break here on Spanish Fork 17. We come back, we'll wrap this up and have the MVP Sports MVP of the game. You're watching high school basketball on Spanish Fork 17.
Two Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jacks Pizza on Main Street for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
In Spanish Fork, see your good neighbor.
Ball game has come to an end here at Maple Mountain High School tonight. A 67-48 win for the Skyridge Falcons here at Maple Mountain High School. A very nice showing by Skyridge, who will very much be a team in Region 7 that will, I would think, after tonight's showing, they have a lot of talent there to really give Timpview and Mountain View and some of those teams in Region 7 a run. That's going to be, again, another very competitive region. But as you see at home, 67-48, the final score here tonight. And Jerry, before we get into some of the stuff like the MVP Sports, MVP of the game, tonight was just one of those nights where every time Skyridge gave away the momentum, and they gave it away a couple of times.
Yeah, they did.
They found a way to just collect it again.
Yeah, well, Maple Mountain didn't have a way to maintain the momentum. Created turnovers, unforced errors on their own that first half, and just the three-point shooting was, I think there were 2 for 10 around there. I don't know the exact stats, but that's I know they made 2. But man, Parker Christensen at 23 points had to do it almost all by himself tonight.
And that's kind of, I would think, would be a sign of concern, Jerry, for Maple Mountain fans, or at least for me it would be, is if you have Parker Christensen scoring 23 of your 48 points, you don't have the luxury of having a team like you had last year where if Cade Poulsen had an off night, Jaron Hall could step up, or this piece could step up. This the Maple Mountain team very much is still finding itself.
Yeah, and I think with the insertion of Dawson Bueller, it would have been a little more competitive game. So the Golden Eagles know what they have to work on, and I'm sure Johnny Avery's going to have them working on that next week before Juan Diego.
The good thing for Maple Mountain is after you get the game with Juan Diego, then you get a couple of teams from the 3AA, which could be a good opportunity for you to kind of get some of those pieces worked out. We saw this team struggle last year in the non-region play a little bit, Jerry, and then they went to that tournament over Christmas, or over the holiday break, I should say, and they really kind of found their stride, it seemed like, before region.
Yeah, and they came back kind of with an identity, like I'm saying, what this Golden Eagle team needs this year. And that's one of the first things we try and do as a coach. Define what you're good at, find your identity, and just ride it. Right? Find what you're good at, and let's do that. I mean, three-point shooting was down, so that wasn't the identity tonight. Ball control, not the identity tonight. I mean, too many turnovers. But I have no doubt they'll get it figured out. So
it should be interesting to kind of see. Tonight, let's talk the MVP, because obviously the one that stands out is Parker Christensen because of the game he had, don't get me wrong, and really an MVP-type performance. But really, when you're taking a look at tonight's game, Christensen had a great game, but sometimes that MVP is somebody that has a great game off the bench or somebody who just makes the right plays at the right time.
Right, and tonight it's the guy who called the duty when Dawson Buehler goes down. It's Colton Bingham. He played big inside that second half, second chance points, and just kind of gave the spark that Golden Eagles needed when they did have the momentum.
Something tells me in the back of my mind, Jerry, that Parker Christensen's going to have plenty of time this year to be the MVP Sports MVP of the game.
Yep.
And a great opportunity for Colton Bingham. Did a little bit of everything tonight for Maple Mountain. Some of that stuff's not going to show up in the stat line.
Well, yeah, and I like Matt Ballard. He was a contender. I love the way he plays the defense on the inside. He physically bodies people, and I think he is going to be the Croman hook of this year. But tonight, MVP of the game, Colton Bingham. Congratulations.
So let's take a look at this Tuesday night. Jerry and I will make the trip. I'm assuming you're coming.
Yeah,
up to Juan Diego, Maple Mountain and Juan Diego. That will be live here on Spanish Fork 17.
I heard pizza will be provided for us.
You can catch replays of this game or many other broadcasts on our YouTube page, youtube.com/SpanishFork17. For our entire sports crew here at Maple Mountain High School, for my partner Jerry Huffman, I'm Ryan Pickens signing off tonight, where Skyridge comes out with a 67-48 win over your Maple Mountain Golden Eagles. Until next time, have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Tuesday from Juan Diego.
Takes a lot of strength and courage to carry someone very dear to you.